Dr. Ogbo,
Yeah,
will I need to use my camera?
yes. When it's time for you to speak.
Okay, because I was trying to figure this out.
And text me. I think we're live. We're going live soon.
Oh, okay, I'll text
In
you.
the chat. Yeah.
I remember this young lady, she had just gotten vaccinated. She's African American, and she goes home and she talks to her grandmother. Grandma, you need to be vaccinated. Grandma says, absolutely not. I don't trust the healthcare system. I don't trust any of these people. I'm not going to get vaccinated. The young lady says, well, Mom, the lady who vaccinated me is African American. She says, well, in that case, take me, I want to get vaccinated. The message is important, but so is the messenger.
Data and science and study have shown that African American individuals are much less likely to be enrolled into a clinical trial. So the EQB Med initiative is going to address this major and critical problem in our community.
EQB Med initiative positions us at Texas Southern University to actually have access to innovative and breakthrough clinical studies. We do a lot of work to increase awareness about clinical research participation, but without an opportunity to actually open access for individuals to participate and to build trust in clinical trial process, we are very limited.
Pharmacy is a very important team in communication with the community. And we are not only have a PharmD program, we also have a PhD program. With that, we have more outreach to the community.
We are the #1 producers of African American pharmacists in the state of Texas. Pharmacists are a significant part of the healthcare team. They're able to immunize patients. They're able to help them in a variety of health settings per se.
TSU had the RCMI support back in 1980s, especially in terms of research infrastructure. So the students and scientists can conduct most cutting edge research, especially in the area of drug discovery and development.
In 2024, the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences celebrated its existence of over 70 years. We lead a lot of initiatives advancing health equity, training community health workers, providing continuing education for community health workers as well as for our pharmacy and health administration students.
In this initiative, we are going to partner with UTMB, Yale University, and Morehouse School of Medicine. We will be able to gain more experience and resources and guidance on how to recruit for clinical trial and how to conduct clinical trials.
So this clinical research initiative under the EQB Med funding mechanism allows us not just to provide opportunities for clinical trial participation for community members, but it creates a platform for us to train the next generation of pharmacists that will be culturally competent, that will have an high level of awareness of engaging with community members to promote the concept of diversity and equal representation in clinical research participation. Hello, my name is Veronica Ajawale Mwema. I am a professor of pharmacy practice here at Texas Southern University, where I also have the privilege to serve as the Assistant Vice President for Clinical Translational Research and Community Engagement. I am the founding director for the TSU Health Mobile Unit Initiative, and I am very excited to share this initiative with you. The TSU Mobile Health Unit is a 40-foot, fully equipped, wheelchair-accessible, telehealth-ready mobile unit with a screening mammogram room, clinical services room, and a community engagement room. There is an expandable awning on both sides of the TSU Mobile Health Unit with a large screen outdoor TV on the outside panel for community education. This allows us to engage with community members outdoors while also providing various clinical services inside the unit. The back panel of our mobile unit allows us to highlight our different programs and sponsors. We are extremely delighted to share that the TSU Mobile Health Unit has capacity to bring cancer screening and health services directly to you in the community.
The Community Engagement Room in our Mobile Health Unit provides a private space for patient check-in as well as community engagement activities. This room also features a TV screen that allows our community members to view educational programs while waiting to receive clinical services. Our wheelchair-accessible mammogram suite is equipped with a state-of-the-art mammogram equipment, allowing us to offer high-quality 3D screening mammograms in the community.
Our state-of-the-art clinical service room on the unit allows us private spaces to provide clinical services and preventive health care services, including high blood pressure screening, hemoglobin A1C for diabetes, and cholesterol screening, as well as lab sample collections that can be stored in our hospital-grade refrigerators or freezers. The room is also telehealth ready, allowing us to connect several rural communities with clinical services seamlessly.
We can also engage with the community about different clinical research initiatives, including enrollment in our clinical research registry, evaluation for interventional or non-interventional studies, as well as educating the community about various clinical research programs.
This private space allows a community member to engage with a clinical pharmacist, answering medication-related questions and providing the needed support to improve health outcomes.
The TSU Mobile Health Unit initiative also positions TSU to lead the way in civic engagement, research, and training of future healthcare professionals and social support staff who have a deep understanding of the community and a commitment to advancing health outcomes in the community.
This is TSU Mobile Health Unit, bringing cancer screening and health services to you.
Hello, my name is Veronica Ajewale. I'm an associate professor of pharmacy practice and the director for the Community Engagement Core of the NIH-funded Center for Biomedical and Minority Health Research here at Texas Southern University. I want to say a big thank you to you and the community members for joining us for today's program. We are really excited that we will be sharing a lot of great information alongside the experts or speakers and panelists that will be leading us in today's conversation. So please have your questions ready. We would have an opportunity to take your questions after today's presentations. So thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to our continued collaboration. Thank you.
Hello, hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Nkechi Ogbo, and you are welcome to today's health educational seminar titled Breathing Easy, What Everyone Should Know About Their Respiratory Health. If you don't mind, Cassie, can you please see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. You are welcome, everyone. And thank you all for taking out time from your busy schedules to join us. Well, this 12 noon, right? So some of you are likely eating lunch, but want to appreciate you all for making it out today. I'm just going to give a brief overview of our center that is pretty much hosting today's event. And we are called the Center for Biomedical and Health Research, and of course, specifically what the Community Engagement Center. Now, under the leadership of our two PIs, Dr. Esther Olaleye and Dr. Huan Zhai, they both got this 2 points, sorry, actually not 2 points, but nearly $21 million grant. And through this award, TSU will continue to play a key role in using a multi-pronged approach, unique and collective strengths of CBMHR course, innovative research projects, excellent resources, and structured career enhancement program to, of course, improve health outcomes with advanced biomedical innovations and community engagement. So we're really grateful to have been able to receive this award for the National Institute of Health to do this great work. Now, under our Community Engagement Core, of course, led by our leader, our director, Dr. Veronica Ajewole Mwema, we're able to do this great work as well with other partners below, including Dr. Maria Mejia, who has graciously agreed to be the speaker for today's event. We've got also Mark Ibarra, who is our clinical research coordinator. We've got Sneha George, our wonderful community health worker, and of course, Cassie Thompson, our program coordinator, who you just heard say hi yes seconds ago. Now, the overall approach of community engagement core is quite a number of folds. So, of course, our goal is to provide health education and outreach, clinical research awareness, participation and retention, and of course, social, mass and media and print media presence. Whatever we do on the bench top here at TSU, we're trying to take it out to the community to, of course, increase the awareness. As well, in the area of education programs for researchers and the communities, we are providing CEs and certification programs for our highly esteemed community health workers. And we are also providing cultural competency training, community engagement research training, and of course, surveys. We need your feedback, our community members, because you guys are the trusted ones who things are happening to. So whatever you want to hear, whatever education, you want to hear more from us about, we implore you to please provide that feedback to us. And we also occasionally do focus groups as well as community engagement studios. Now, we were really, really proud to present and to actually mention that we recently in May 2025, we're able to launch TSU's Clinical Research Registry. And what is this? It's pretty much a type of data repository where participants are enrolled in a database or registry to collect and store detailed information about over a specified period of time. Now, this information could include your demographics, your contact information, your medical history, and other relevant data. Now, you might say, why join? Well, the important thing is you want to get early access to potential clinical research, right? You want to continue to be part of, indeed, great groundbreaking medical discoveries and help to improve treatment options for our future generations. Who can join? Anyone who is healthy, and also those who have medical conditions. And of course, age-wise, you want to be 18 years or older, and you can be from any background. We welcome you all. There is no obligation to stay in the program. If you ever want to back out or end being part of this registry database, we are more than happy to take your name out. So please consider being part of this by scanning the QR code here and filling out your information, and our
our clinical coordinator will indeed get back to you, hopefully within a week. Next, we're really proud to mention again that our TSU Mobile Health Unit is on ground. We were able to get funding from this sometime a few years ago and had this launched under the direction of Dr. Ajewole Moema. Now, this TSU Mobile Health Initiative, as you can see on the pictures here, as well as the video earlier on, it has various components inside. In addition to be able to drive in the mobile unit out into the community and serving you all in the area of preventative care, we are also able to provide screening mammogram services on the unit. So this is like a double win. We are also able to provide you with educational sessions through the different TV screens, both outside and inside the unit. Again, thank you all for joining us to our online attendees. Please do post your questions when our speaker starts talking, because after she speaks, there's going to be a Q&A session. The server link is also going to be posted occasionally in the link, as well as if in the chat box, as well as if you scan this QR code, you will get the information for signing in for your attendance, for signing up also and filling out our evaluation forms. And also our survey is very important, because that is how we'll let the people who have given us this funding know how we're doing. To our community health workers, again, we thank you for joining us. You are going to be receiving free 1 credit hours, CE hours for this. But of course, to be able to get that, you will have to complete the survey and the evaluation. Turnaround time is less than 2 weeks. So please do expect that from us once you fill out this information. Again, thank you to those who have joined us through Facebook and YouTube. We invite you to please please share this information, because it is going to be invaluable information. Stay connected with us through our different social media handles, as well as our websites. That's all. Now, without much further ado, I'm going to be introducing our speaker for today's event, and it's in the person of Dr. Maria Mejia. She's a physician scientist and professor in the Department of Population Health and Social Medicine at Florida Atlantic University's Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine. She is dual board certified in preventative and addiction medicine. She leads multiple initiatives focused on improving health outcomes among underserved communities through community engaged and population-based research. Her work addresses chronic disease prevention, substance use, health communication, and the non-medical drivers of health, with a special emphasis on lung health and tobacco use. Her career is dedicated to advancing health outcomes and enhancing the well-being of community members through rigorous research, strategic population health initiatives, and active community engagement. She strives to develop and implement impactful health interventions. Dr. Mejia, over to you. And I'm going to stop sharing so that you can take hold of this.
Thank you, Nikki.
My pleasure. Are you able to take it over?
Let's see. I sent you a request to be able to share.
Let me see if I'm able to. You got it?
I think you need to.
Okay, I'll stop. Thank you.
Are we good? All right.
Yes, you're good. I can see your slide.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for being here today. My name is Maria Mejia, and thank you, Nikki, for the introduction. And today we are going to talk about something that all of us do every moment of every day, breathing. This session is meant to be practical, easy to understand, and focus on helping you protect your own health and the health of your families. Let me just move this here. Give me 1 second. Not just. Give me just 1 second. Something happened this here. Okay. I stopped sharing, right? Yeah.
Yes, you did. I think now it's coming again.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So while we start, before I start with our talk, I want to take a moment to thank you, all of you, for your participation in our community outreach efforts. Everything we have been able to accomplish has been possible because of your involvement and your support. Our work is inspired by you, our community, and created for you. Your voices and your engagement help us grow and improve our services. We are very grateful for your partnership and for the trust you have placed in us through the years. And thank you for being part of this work and for helping us build a stronger and healthier community together. With that, I have no financial or non-financial conflicts interest to disclose. My goal today is simple to share helpful, clear, and trustworthy information. By the end of the session, you will understand two main themes. First, how healthy breathing works and what can affect our lungs, including common illnesses like asthma, COPD, pneumonia, and lung cancer. Second, simple everyday steps you can take to protect your lungs. That includes avoiding smoking and vaping, improving indoor air, checking outdoor air quality, preventing infections, and staying active. So what does breathing matter? Well, breathing gives our body oxygen, which is our fuel, and removes waste gases from our body. Healthy lungs help us stay active, to think clearly, to move around, to enjoy daily life. Let me ask you something in general. When was the last time you took time to take a deep, relaxing breath? We might not remember, right? Because we do it automatically. Breathing is an essential act that requires no thought. However, thinking about how we are breathing, it can alter your physical and your mental health. It can help us to relax. It can help us to manage anxiety. That feeling of calm comes from your lungs doing their job, doing the work they're supposed to do. So how our lungs work? Well, air enters through the nose or the mouth, travels through the windpipe into the lungs, where oxygen enters the bloodstream and carbon dioxide is removed. Carbon dioxide is what we call the waste gas. Inside our lungs, there are tiny air sacs called alveoli, which pass oxygen into the blood. The diaphragm is a muscle in our chest that helps pull air in and push it out. So to take care of our lungs, a few habits make a big difference. The first one in the golden rule is do not smoke or vape. Smoke is smoking is the major cause of lung diseases, including lung cancer and COPD. Another recommendation is to avoid pollutants as much as we can, minimizing exposure to secondhand smoke, minimizing exposure to chemicals and radon. Use protective gear such as a mask if exposed to dust or fumes in your environment or in your workplace. Try to stay active because regular exercise strengthens the breathing muscles and makes the lungs more efficient. Let's try to prevent infections by doing things like regular hand washing and staying up to date with vaccinations for respiratory illnesses like the flu and pneumonia. Another one is to stay hydrated. Drinking plenty of water keeps the mucus thin and making it easier to clear from the lungs. And of course, regular checkups if you have any underlying conditions. So here are some common respiratory illnesses. Asthma, which is a chronic condition where airways become inflamed and narrow, often in response to triggers like allergies, cold air, or exercise. We also have chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, which is a progressive disease that includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis, making it difficult to breathe. Smoking is the primary cause of COPD. We also have pneumonia, which is an infection that inflames the air sacs in one or both lungs, and lung cancer, which is an uncontrolled cell growth in the lungs, with smoking being the leading risk factor. So what makes our lungs sick? Well, lungs can be affected by triggers like allergies, smoke, cold air, chemicals, mold, infections, or stress. Smoking is the #1 cause of preventable lung disease, but triggers can add up. For example, someone with allergies who also lives near traffic or areas with heavy traffic may have more symptoms, may have flare-ups if that person has asthma, for example. There are many risk factors for getting conditions like COPD, like smoking, job exposure, because you expose yourself more often to dust or fumes, also air pollution if you live in heavy polluted areas. But we also need to think about that some genetic conditions or family illnesses like alpha-1 deficiency, which make our lungs more prone to develop chronic diseases. All right, let's talk about asthma, because many people have beliefs about asthma that aren't true. Asthma is a common long-term lung disease that affects both children and adults. It is the most common chronic disease in children, but anyone can develop it at any age. Asthma symptoms come from ongoing inflammation in your lungs, which means a swelling inside the airways. This swelling makes the airways narrow and very, very sensitive, so they react easily to different triggers. Asthma symptoms can be triggered by different things for different people. So myth #1, asthma only happens during exercise. Well, not quite. Asthma isn't just exercise related. Allergies, cold air, smoke, and stress can all cause flare-ups. Myth #2, if you feel okay, you don't need your inhaler every day. Well, actually you do. Daily control inhalers are needed even when you feel okay, because it helps us to prevent flare-ups or crisis. right? Myth number 3, children just don't simply outgrow or grow out of asthma. Symptoms might get better as you get older, but the condition can come back at any time in your adulthood, particularly if you expose to other risk factors like smoking or heavy pollution or jobs that expose you to environmental triggers. Myth number 4, well, inhalers are not addictive, period. The medications that are used to manage asthma as a chronic illness are not addictive. They don't cause addiction. Myth number 5, well, asthma is actually serious. It can be a life-threatening condition, but with the right care, most people live full, active lives. There is something that we need to be aware. There is no cure for asthma, but appropriate treatment prevents asthma attacks and can help us have a better quality of life. So it can be managed. It's a chronic condition that can be managed with proper treatment if we use it as prescribed. All right. Every person with asthma should have an action plan with 3 zones. It has the green, the yellow, and the red. It tells you what to do when symptoms change, what medicine to take, when to call a doctor, and when to get emergency help. The plan should be kept somewhere easy for you to find, either tape on the fridge, inside a notebook, or save on your phone. It's important that if you suffer or you live with asthma, or your children, your child, or your loved one, we are all well informed on what to do in different stages. So learn what the green zone means, what the yellow zone means, what the red zone means, and what to do at every level. So the people that lives in the household can be able to provide support to someone in need. As a community health workers, it's also important to learn what all these zones mean and what are the different things that happen when the disease progresses, and what it means, like at the green zone, that is, what you're doing well. Yellow zone, you might need to use the rescue inhaler more often. In the red zone, that you are having a severe flare-up or an asthma attack, and you need to seek medical attention immediately. Let's talk about COPD. Well, it is a long-term lung disease that makes breathing feel hard. It includes chronic bronchitis and emphysema. Common symptoms include a long-lasting cough, could be dry or can be what we call wet. It includes shortness of breath, wheezing, low energy, and sometimes frequent chest infections. There is no cure, but there is great treatment that helps people stay active and enjoy life. And here is an important fact. Most people with COPD have smoked for many years, but some people get COPD even if they never smoke, either from pollution, from workplace dust, secondhand smoke, or some genetic conditions. It is diagnosed by your doctor using usually what we call a spirometry. It is a simple breathing test that measures the speed and the amount of air that you can blow out of your lungs. Well, let's talk about pneumonia briefly. It is a common lung infection that fills the air sacs in our lungs with fluid or mucus. It can affect one or both lungs and can be caused by bacteria, viruses like flu or COVID, or fungi. Pneumonia and its symptoms can vary from mild to severe, and the treatment will depends on the cause of your pneumonia, whether it's a virus or a bacteria, also how severe your symptoms are, your age, and your overall health. Most healthy people recover from pneumonia in 1 to 3 weeks, but it can be life-threatening if it's not managed properly. People at higher risk include older adults, babies, people with asthma, COPD, other chronic illnesses like diabetes, heart disease, and people who smoke. The good news is that pneumonia can be prevented by being up to date with recommended vaccinations like the flu, like the pneumococcal, by practicing good hygiene, like frequently washing your hands and quitting smoking. That's the golden rule. Remember, pneumonia itself isn't contagious. You cannot give pneumonia to someone else. However, the germs that cause it can spread from person to person. Well, let's talk about lung cancer. It happens when cells in the lung grow out of control. There is no way to get regulated. They just grow too much and too fast. Smoking is the biggest risk factor for lung cancer, but others include secondhand smoke, radon, air pollution, and family history. Most of Texas has normal levels of radon, but some counties, especially in the Panhandle, which is the northwest, can have higher radon due to the concentrations in the soil. Even in Houston, it's still good to test your home because radon can show up in any house. So some of the symptoms of lung cancer include just this persistent cough that doesn't go away, coughing up blood, weight loss you cannot explain for other reasons, weakness. But however, if you have certain risk factors, it's important to talk about lung cancer screening, which is recommended for people 50 to 80 years old who currently smoke or used to smoke and quit in the last 15 years. It is recommended to do it every year. That way we can find lung cancer early before symptoms even appear, and response to treatment are much better. Health insurances usually cover the lung cancer screening. Is a preventable service, just like mammography, just like colon cancer screening. We do know that early detection truly saves lives. So talk to your doctor to see if you are eligible for lung cancer screening, that your doctor can make informed decision with you whether this is the best approach, and also can provide resources to help you in your journey of quitting smoking or assessing how ready you are for cutting back or quitting smoking. Here are a few misconceptions about lung cancer. Number one, no, lung cancer doesn't only happen to people who smokes. Others who never smokes can get it too, because they are exposed to all these risk factors that I had mentioned before. Number two, yes, you still need screening even without symptoms. In fact, when you present symptoms of lung cancer, is usually far advanced when a treatment response can be poor. So the high recommendation is if you are eligible for lung cancer screening, get it done. It takes 5 minutes. The screening is through the machine that it looks like a donut. It's not the closed one. So if you are in and out in 5 minutes, doesn't require any dyes, doesn't require any preparation, it's not painful. You don't need any injections or nothing like that. And can truly, truly save lives if if you have a lung cancer and is detected at early stage. Okay, number 3, lung cancer is always a death sentence. Not quite. In fact, early detection, as I just mentioned it, can save lives, and treatments keep improving. We have a vast number of new treatments and medications that have truly increased survivorship. So what we now talking about is living with cancer as a chronic condition. Think about breast cancer, how much we have moved the needle in treatment, and you can live long, happy lives, long, good quality for a long time, even when you still have lung cancer. Okay, number 4. Well, quitting smoking actually always help at any age, at any stage. It improves breathing, it helps treatments work better, and of course, it boosts survival. So there is always a good time to quit smoking. Let's take a moment to talk about something that has a big impact on lung health, which is tobacco and vaping. I want to be very clear. This is a judgment-free conversation. Many people in our families and communities use these products. Our goal is simple: to understand how they affect the lungs and what help is available to help those that are considering taking the path to quitting smoking. All right, so with that, cigarettes harm the lungs in several ways. The smoke goes deep into your lungs, deep into the airways, and causes damage over time. This damage can lead to coughing, trouble breathing, and lung diseases like cancer. The key message here is cigarettes are the leading cause of lung cancer and a major cause of COPD. Now, vapes and e-cigarettes. Well, many people believe vapes are harmless, but it's not true, just not quite. Vapes can irritate the lungs and may contain nicotine, which is addictive, and also contains metals or chemicals that can harm the lung tissue. Even if the vape says nicotine-free, it may still have chemicals that irritate or inflame the lungs and can cause severe damage over time. Also remember that smoke doesn't just affect the person using the product. Secondhand smoke can harm children, older adults, pregnant people, and anyone nearby. Some examples are: children may have more asthma attacks if they are exposed to secondhand smoke. Babies have a higher risk of lung diseases or lung infections, and adults may develop breathing problems or heart disease when they are exposed to secondhand smoke. Getting support is very important. Just be familiar with resources available, like the Texas Quit line, just when you're ready, or just have the first discussion to explore what can you do to cut back and quit smoking. We meet you where you are and your readiness to quit smoking. Even small steps like cutting back or avoiding smoking indoors or inside the house or enclosed or in your office, or getting support, all those things can make a big difference for your lungs and your health. All right, so one important recommendation is to avoid exposure to air pollutants that can damage your lungs. Air quality refers to the air in the buildings and the structures that we work, live, and play in, as well as the immediate area around these buildings and structures. Well, did you know that we actually spend up to 90% of our time indoors? That's quite a long time. And in fact, indoor air can actually be more polluted than outdoor air. So it's an important fact that we need to be very well aware. Common indoor irritants include cleaning sprays, the ones that we use on regular basis, fragrances, candles, mold, dust mites, and gas from stoves, like cooking indoors. Some tips: open the windows when you're cleaning, fix leaks quickly so you prevent the mold, and choose safer cleaning products that have less smells, not as strong, and they have less fumes. Keep in mind that outdoor air changes day to day, and it can be affected by traffic, industry, wildfires, and heat changes, drastic changes in temperature. You can get in the habit to check airnow.gov, which is a free resource where you can check the air quality on daily basis. You can also use the weather app in your smartphone and provide, the UV light, the temperature, the humidity, and of course the air quality, the outdoor air quality. You can see whether the air is good or bad, and depending on that, you can decide how much time you can spend outdoors. If the air is orange, the indicator in the air quality is orange or red, that means that air quality is not good. So you might consider avoid exercising or spending too much time outdoors that day. Particularly these children or adults who have long illnesses, or elderly who might have weakened immune systems. Now let's talk about the different things in the air that can harm our lungs. Many of these pollutants are around us every day, both inside and outside our homes. So we have vehicle emissions, cars, trucks, and buses. They all release gases and tiny particles into the air. When we breathe this in, they can irritate our lungs and make breathing harder. People who live close to busy roads or highways are exposed to this more often. So something to keep in mind, maybe you use a mask when the air quality outdoors is not as good, or when you are under the weather or you're feeling ill. Think also about industrial emissions. Factories and plants, they all release smoke and chemicals into the air. This can travel far from where they start. In cities like ours, like Houston, industrial pollution is a big part of what we breathe in every day. Another one is indoor mold. Mold grows in damp places like bathrooms, under the sinks, or inside walls. Breathing in mold can cause coughing, allergies, and asthma attacks. This is especially dangerous for kids, older adults, and people with breathing problems. We did experience a lot of this problem during the floods, so when we had storms and water gets in the house, and sometimes you can't see the mold, so it's important to be aware, alert, and test for mold if you have questions or you worry that there are some areas that might have been more humid or wet than usual. Another one to keep in mind is chemical cleaners. Some cleaning products have strong fumes that irritate our lungs. Things like bleach, sprays, and scented candles, and cleaners, they all can cause coughing, burning eyes, or headaches. Another one is the wildfire smoke. With hotter weather, wildfire smoke is becoming more common, even in places far from the fire. Wildfire smoke can travel long distances and can irritate everyone's lungs, especially, again, children, older adults, and people with asthma. Something that I want us to think about is how climate affects breathing, especially in cities like Houston. High heat makes air pollution worse. Humidity can worsen a mold growth in our house. Wildfire smoke can, like it's mentioned, can travel hundreds of miles. And temperature changes can trigger asthma, drastic temperature changes, humidity, hot days, and then switching quickly with cold days. Or when we go in and out of the house because of the AC or lack of AC availability. So all these things can certainly have an impact on our lung health. Infections are a major cause of breathing problems. To keep your lungs healthy, get your flu, your COVID, your pneumonia shots. Just talk to your doctor, make an informed decision about the importance or the benefits that you can get from being vaccinated. If you have questions, if you're hesitant about getting vaccinated, just have these open, candid conversations to get more information and to be able to clarify some of the doubts that you might have at that time. Another easy way to do it is to wash our hands regularly. I know I keep repeating this, but it's something that it needs to be, that we need to be aware, and that way we can pass it on to our kiddos, to the children, to the youth, to get into the practice of hygiene. Wear a mask if you're sick to protect yourself and to protect people around you. Stay home if sometimes it's better, again, to protect both yourself and the community. Rest and drink plenty of fluids if you're not feeling well. And if you are over 65 or have chronic conditions, ask about vaccines, particularly pneumonia, if you are eligible for it. So how can we support people who want to quit smoking or vaping? Be aware that quitting takes time. Most people try several times before they actually succeed. As a community health workers or just community members in general, we can help others who are in the journey of quitting, help set small goals, like cutting back, for example. Teach about avoiding triggers, other ways to cope with anxiety, other ways to cope with these cravings, and so forth. Encourage over-the-counter nicotine replacement like patches, gum, lozenges when appropriate, and also be informed or get more information about how to use them, who will benefit from it. Help them to connect with free resources, as some of these therapies might be expensive and might not be covered by insurance, but there are free resources out there. The Texas Quitline offers free coaching and sometimes free medication like a nicotine replacement patches, for example. But most importantly, offer support without judgment, right? This is tobacco use is a chronic relapsing disease. It takes time and a couple of attempts to be able to quit smoking. And, people can relapse, but it's okay. We can all start over again. Provided support is the most important part for those who are considering or are going through this journey. Okay, this is something that we see more and more often out there, either because the doctor recommended or you saw it on the TV or a friend who's using it. It's about, this slide shows a small device that we call pulse oximeter. It clips on your finger and tells us your blood oxygen level. Blood oxygen level is a measure of how much oxygen is in your blood. It helps us see how well your lungs and heart are working together to carry oxygen through your body. It reads the blood on your finger and gives us a number on the screen. We usually call that number O2 sat. For most people, a normal blood oxygen level is 95 and higher. Some people with lung disease may run a little lower, but their doctor will tell them what is safe for them. When should you worry? Well, if your number keeps dropping below what your doctor says is safe, or if it goes below 90%, or you just feel short of breath, dizzy, or have a chest pain, all those can be signs that your lungs are not getting enough oxygen. That's a reason to call your doctor or seek urgent care. So with this, it's just to share that checking blood oxygen is one more way we can keep an eye on our breathing and our lung health, especially for people with conditions like asthma, COPD, or COVID, or long-term COVID, or have any other lung problems. So when to worry about breathing problems? Well, there are so many instances that we need to consider, but importantly, we need to familiarize ourselves and be able to recognize danger signs. So shortness of breath, definitely very important. When you use your shoulders or neck muscles to breathe, when you start breathing fast, even when you are at rest, chest pain with breathing, particularly when you're breathing in, when you have a cough that doesn't go away, or coughing up blood. If you're having difficulty breathing, please don't take this lightly, as it can get worse quite rapidly and can be life-threatening. So be aware, be mindful, and get help quickly. Call 911 or reach out to someone who can help you. Maybe you just need to connect your meds, maybe you need your inhaler, or you need just to call 911. So just for general knowledge, there are several medications that are used to manage breathing problems. One of the most common are the so-called rescue inhalers like albuterol. It helps during breathing trouble. We also have the controller inhalers, or so-called maintenance medications that are used daily to prevent symptoms and to prevent flare-ups of asthma, for example. Nebulizer or breathing treatments, which turns medication into a mist for easy breathing. They usually use a mask. We can do it at home, or we can do it in doctor's office. We also have steroids to which reduce swelling in the lungs. But most importantly, if you're working with or have a family member, or you yourself use medications for breathing problems, always make sure if someone is using those medications, particularly the inhalers, properly or correctly, as many people do not. And in fact, improper use of the inhalers and other medications is the number one reason for failure for the treatment, so treatment failure. So something very easy to fix. Just get educated and help us educate the community in the proper use of these medications. I think it's important when we have this type of events and talks, is to talk about community stress and lung health. Breathing, stress, and lung health, they all go together. Stress and trauma can worsen breathing problems. Stress affects breathing too. It tightens the chest muscles and makes breathing faster and can even trigger asthma. Breathing and heart rate are regulated by the same parts of the brain, and each talks to the other to work in sync. Just think about when we encounter a threat, such as an attacking tiger or an angry boss. It triggers the fight and flight response. Along with that comes the increase on the heart rate, the increase on the sweaty palms, the increase in the muscle tension. We breathe faster and the blood rushes to the muscles and the body braces for action, right? Conversely, when we relax, we breathe more slowly, the heart rate decreases and the blood vessels dilate and more blood flows through all our body. So what I'm trying to share with you is highlight here is the importance of breathing. So when we are under stress or have high anxiety, simple strategies like slow, deep breathing, stretching, walking breaks, and connected with others are very, very important. Here, there's so many resources out there about breathing techniques. Find the one that works for you. Here is one that is called the 4-7-8 breathing. Is 4 counts inhale, 7 counts holding the air, and 8 counts exhaling. That is just a very conscious deep breathing technique that will help us relax and is all good for our body.
1 minute, please. So we can get some time for questions.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Well, here is just finally what community health workers can do to help others. Just asking you questions related to respiratory health. How are you breathing this week? If they have been exposed to pollutants and other harmful substances or fumes. Remember that you are the bridge between community members and the health system. You can teach prevention, you can recognize early signs, promote vaccines, and connect people with care. And just to close, remember a few key actions. Don't smoke, be active. All these pollutants can affect our breathing. We might not control everything in the environment, but we can take small steps at home to protect ourselves, right? Taking care of our lungs help us live healthier, longer lives and help our families to stay strong. So this is our final. Just stay connected. Here are some free resources that you can have access to and have great information. That's it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mejia. I really appreciate the information.
Let me stop sharing.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I am going to go ahead and share my screen again. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Again, we appreciate you, Dr. Mejia, for the great presentation. Some people had questions already, so I wanted to make sure that we try to touch on those. For anyone else who has questions, we probably have time for 3 questions before we round up. So thank you again, and I'm just going to go straight into the session. To our CHW, don't forget to click on this, scan the QR code for your CE evaluations. Now on to the next question. Let's see. Okay. Dr. Mejia, the first question that somebody asked was, so she said that what about those who have had COVID? That is there a chance for them to be easily at risk? And I did try to clarify at risk for what. So let's say maybe for COPD or lung cancer. For somebody who has had COVID in the past, which I would say is probably quite most of us, is there a chance for them to be easily at risk for maybe lung cancer or one of those ones you've described today?
Thank you for the question. And I know that so many things and so many questions that still remain after, post-COVID, and what are the side effects that we can expect. Just to reassure you, there is no data that has shown the link between COVID or in lung cancer. However, yes, when you have COVID, particularly if you have severe symptoms or, experience some of the complications and long-term effects, your lung tissue might be weakened. What it means is that it makes you probably more prone to repetitive or infections from other viruses or the bacteria. In fact, if you had asthma when you were a child and didn't have symptoms when you are an adult, you might present of experiencing a flare up of those asthma symptoms again. So what we strongly recommend is, if you had, or even if you didn't have COVID or any other viral lung infections, is to avoid risk factors or triggers like smoking, secondhand smoking, all these fumes and products that I mentioned about it. They are more common than not. Just think about for a second, what do you use on a daily basis at home? We love the plugins to make the home smell really good. They're terrible if you have lung illnesses or some type of risk factor.
Now, if you don't mind, I have to just ask you one more question regarding that, because you said plugins, and I do love my plugins also. What about those natural, what is it, oils, essential oils that you can, like the ones that have the peppermint flavor or the lavender flavor? I'm just asking because I'm sure there's quite a number of us.
Well, it's not no one from those companies. So in a nutshell, they're not good.
Oh wow, okay.
Because they're burning. They're not even I mean, they so-called natural, but are they really natural? So what it is that it burns big particles. You don't see them, but they go very inside your lungs and cause lung inflammation. So it's like everything else. It might not cause any damage in you, but if it just happen that you have a lung infection or you have COPD or you have asthma, I can assure you that those things, it can be triggers. They're also no good for kids, for babies or elder people, people with other chronic conditions who might have a weakened immune system. If you can afford one of those air filters, that are fancy ones that actually remove some of those particles inside your home in the air, well, that's a way to do it. And you can still burn your candle or your oil, essential oil. But if you are concerned about lung health, I will stay away from them.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now, the second person here said that you mentioned testing the house for mold. And she says, are there any household testing kits or devices that you would recommend that would help them check for mold before they call for a professional?
I don't really have one one that I would tell you, oh, this one is better than the other one. They all perform about the same, and there are plenty out there. You can do it yourself without calling a special, a professional who can charge you a lot. You will call the professional when you need the remediation. For that, I think it's better if you get someone. But where we get a lot of mold that we don't notice is around the vents or AC. That gets that black thingy around. Yes. Well, it depends. If you feel comfortable cleaning that on regular basis, so that black thing is no mold, right? Okay. But it can become mold. So if you clean it and keep your vents clean, you will be preventing the development of mold. Then online or in the warehouse store, you can find kits that you can check for mold. And now they have even like small devices. They're not very expensive, maybe 20, they're affordable. Let me just reward that. They can be affordable, $20, $30, and you can check like different areas of your house that you have like concerns, like under the sink on your bathroom. Maybe once you have a leak and you can't see anything behind, you just check and they will tell you if it's mold or not, and that give you a peace of mind, particularly if you have someone in the house who has a long illness.
Okay. Now, would you say the same also for the person who is asking how to test for radon in their house? Would that be the?
Absolutely, yes. So in Houston, we don't have that much problem, right?
Okay.
But but I have to say, because radon is the second cause of lung cancer in the United States. If you live in certain parts of Texas, yes, you will do it on a regular basis. But you know, if your house has a basement or is an older house, older meaning more than 100 years, which in Houston, some part of Houston, we do have those houses, it can give you a peace of mind. And you can buy one of these kits for $15 to $30. It's online or at a hardware store. In fact, some health departments can provide those kits for free.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You just need to ask about those resources. So it's not complicated. You can do it yourself, give you a peace of mind, and it can be affordable.
Awesome. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Then one last question before we round up. You talked about cleaning the house and about being careful about the kind of liquids or chemicals we use. Are there any like no-nos that once we read on the back we should not, use or just use a mask and you're good? I'm talking about something like bleach, or like all this bleach thing is to clean up to clean the bathrooms and whatnot. And when we're talking about disinfecting like your kitchen and whatnot.
We love. So when you are dusting, try to dust on regular basis, particularly you have pets. Okay. We wet wipes, right? Because if you use the dry ones, the dust is going to go everywhere. Mm-hmm. Just regular. Try to wash your bed sheets at least once a week. And I would strongly recommend not to sleep with pets, because as much as you clean and vacuum, they'll always be, here. Now, with the cleaning supplies, stay away from ammonia products. We think that the stronger the products, the better it's going to do the cleaning. Well, it can be the case, but it's so harsh on our lungs. So you either wear a mask, but the most important is just open the windows so the fumes will go outside and take breaks if you must do it. We love the strong smells like Fabuloso. I know I'm Latina, so we love Fabuloso or Pinecrest or those that have the heaviest strong. They're not very good for your health, but they're good for cleaning. So you find a balance. If it's you must use them, you wear a mask, clean for a short period of time, take a break. Open the doors or you want to clean, one of little electrical ovens, take it outside and clean it outside while you use that heavy product. Just little things like that. But if you can transition to less harmful or less strong smells products, I will suggest to go with that. We're not going to go away from bleach. I mean, I don't know anything else that can do the work of bleach does. I myself know that, but I will know makes bleach with ammonia, for example. That is a no. So, just find what works for you and try to stay away from strong smells or like the detergents that have the clothes smells beautiful, delicious, but it's really not good for a lung health.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Mejia. And I see somebody somebody who gave in her 2 cents. She said, mix vinegar with baking soda for cleaning.
Yes, I love it. Let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to our grandparents used to use. There was no fancy stuff before, and the house were impeccable. The floors were shiny. And what do we use? Vinegar. It solves all the problems.
That's good. Thank you so much, Dr. Mejia. Appreciate it. And I'm going to move on quickly. And thank you all to everyone who is still logged in here and has still kept it up with us even to this very moment. I want to appreciate you all. Thank you again, Dr. Mejia. I would not forget this. I'm going to go look at those my candles and all that and try to put them away. And I've got some pine sol I have to dispose of. But on next in January, please do join us either in person or
I hope there
online.
is no one from those companies here.
Yes, please join us, you are community members, online or in person at our maternal and child health education and outreach event taking place at the Steve Rada Community Center. And that would be Friday, January the 30th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, online, you can join us March 4th, that is on a Wednesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. for our second part of is screening mammogram, a painful experience. Next, again in April, we've got our annual clinical research and engagement conference taking place April the 18th, and this is going to be our 5th, I believe. So please come with your questions, come with expectation. You can join us for this conference either online or in person, and we'd also be taking place at the Steve Rada Community Centers. More information to follow. Again, if you are interested in joining or being part of TSU Clinical Research Registry, please go ahead and scan this QR code and you can get more information about this. Again, to anyone who wants to partner with us for our TSU Mobile Health Unit, please join us. Everyone's help and participation is really, really valued. And lastly, we invite you to continue connecting with us. Visit our link trees, give us a text, give us a shout out in Facebook and Twitter, on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram as well. Thank you so much and have a blessed one. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mejia. Bye, everybody.
Hello again. My name is Veronica Ajawale. I want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you for joining us for today's program. I am very certain that you have received a lot of great information that you will put to practice as we all grow together to become a healthier community. Thank you to our speaker and our panelists. Thank you for sharing today's content with us. Thank you to our locations. Thank you to our interns, our volunteers, to our sponsors and our funders. Thank you also to the staff of our program, the faculty and the leadership of Texas Southern University for supporting us in making today's program a success. Most importantly, I want to say thank you to each and every of you, the community members. We appreciate your support. We do not want today's program to end just with today's event. We want you to continue to collaborate with us and engage with us. Our social media platforms are located at CECTX Southern U. On those platforms, you will find engaging information from today's program and all the other programs that we have going on in the Community Engagement Corps. So we implore you to continue to stay connected with us, engage with us as we move forward together in building a healthy and a wealthy community. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to connecting soon. Bye.